for everyone that's defending what's going on in these southern states with the redistricting, trying to say that it's not racist, it's just political, well, explain this right here.
What it is that they're doing.
I mean, these are folks who are drunk with power. And one thing that came out yesterday that I just think shows how blatant it is that we were under the impression that every Democrat was being stripped of their committee. The Speaker of the House stripped everyone except the white men in our caucus. And so every black member, every woman was stripped of committee, but the white men in the Democratic caucus got to keep their committees. We found out last night. And so it just shows who is dehumanized in spaces like this. These are folks who were laughing as they were passing these racist maps, laughing at the people who were coming, expressing their grief, their frustration at the process and the taking away of their representation. And these are folks who, traffic in the politics of racism. One of the members who voted for this is Representative Paul Sherrill, who just a couple years ago joked about bringing back hanging by a tree. These are folks who use racial slurs. I've been called boy multiple times as a colleague in this building. They think that we are back in the 1960s, and they are very clear about that. And now this policy agenda is bringing us backwards to that time in which we don't have equal representation in our democratic process, in which we may not even have black lawmakers at the federal level ever again, as long as these type of racist Supreme Court decisions stand in the South, because we're not just seeing it in Tennessee, but Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Georgia. There's an assault, war being waged against black folks in the South, and it's a civil war, and we must call it for what it is. It's a Jim Crow agenda being led by these white supremacists who wear suits and have decorum, but their actions are violence against communities of color, and it's political violence in terms of taking away our voice in our democracy.